Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Skyrim Special Edition. So we're creeping around this creepy land, this world, trying to find Mirak. And we're actually really close, I think, to finding him and fighting him. And then we may be very close to the end of the game. There's probably a little bit left, but not as much as I might think. This is interesting. The way this connects. And the way this connects, I think this probably implies deeply that either way I go, I'm going to end up fighting the boss. The world has been shifting and changing. So we came in here and we saw that these two hallways closed in on us and we couldn't go that way. So it actually does matter which one you go through. It's the other one. I'm trying to wrap my brain around the 200 plus hours we've played of Skyrim and just try to think of how I can really give final thoughts or anything like that to this game, because it's just been so long. Like, I'm trying to ask myself, did I like the companion's quest? How much of the things that can I even remember that we've done? So much of this game could easily be forgotten and overwritten by hours and hours of struggling with just playing menu hero, with enchanting and smithing and improving weapons and selling those weapons and getting more money for no real reason. Or in the Homestead DLC, when we're just building a house that is pretty much just a pre-made house, but we were given maybe like 3 real decisions on our homestead houses, but we are given better houses than what you got in the original game, I suppose. So I guess it's a small improvement. And then I also have to balance that with the fact that compared to the mods that people that didn't work at Bethesda have done, the work Bethesda did with their DLC, the Homestead DLC, Dragonborn and Dawnguard, is not really enough. And then Bethesda hasn't done anything else really since then with the Elder Scrolls series, other than try to push people to the Elder Scrolls Online or Tamriel Online. I think it's the same thing. They just changed the name at some point. And here it is 6 years later, and they're putting out just the same game running on the Fallout 4 engine with different shaders that change the visuals a little bit and maybe improve the visuals. That's almost subjective. And I'm just fighting these seekers and getting more books. This idea is, if I'd known I was going to get all these books, I would not have been obsessive for at least 10 hours of gameplay. I probably would have played a lot more quicker, like, because of that. But I guess that's my own failing in the fact that I didn't play the DLC the first time it came out. But honestly, I had enough Skyrim, probably 40 hours, at least 40 hours before I finished playing just the original Skyrim. This whole game in the hands of a different video game producer, in the hands of somebody who didn't just want to waste your time and make it a 200-hour game, as if that is something that's good, which it was kind of considered good back in the time when this game came out, but nowadays, as the video game playing population has aged and they have jobs and they have kids and they have life responsibilities, the concept is ridiculous to spend 200 hours on any one game. I'll spend 200 hours instead on, well, 4, maybe 5 games. 4, maybe 5 AAA games. That's not even talking about the cell phone games and the indie games that are available these days. I guess I could say it is slightly better than the way some of the Assassin's Creed games have just put 300 flags on the map and said find them all. At least there's not a very hard number to the ridiculous collecting that we do. It's instead just a infinitely spawning open world experience. Let's see. We've got this. Okay. See, I don't know if I'm getting burned by standing where he's standing. I think I am. See, this almost feels like this could be a boss fight, but we fought too many of these to really believe that. See, I probably should use a shout or something. Let me ask this question. My shouts are not working. Interesting. I was just about to use a health thing. But that's not gonna open that, is it? Nope. Not without this. Also opening it. Here we go. This is strange. I don't know where they go after this point. And I am carrying too much. So now we need to look at items I have. And Daedric bow for 18 for 2,500 gold. That's definitely something to hold on to. Hunting bow we can get rid of. Iron daggers we can get rid of. Iron greatsword we can get rid of. Iron maces, iron swords, iron warhammers, and orcish mace. And that here we have the soul render and the blood scythe, two weapons. Both of which would do 26 damage. Maybe if I get that improved, it would be worth using both of those weapons since they're unique items. What's a scryer? That's what we just used. See, that totally burns me. And I'm supposed to go up here. There's sections in the Mage Guild that I know we didn't do. There's sections in the Thieves Guild that I don't feel like we did. Chapter 5. Hopefully this is just a boss fight, because we don't need 5 sections here. It's not a large variety of enemies in this area. I think that is... Alright. So I have 4 things, and I've got to figure out what goes where. We're at level 73, and let's see. I'm getting the feeling the game... Alright, here's a eyeball. Prying orbs. That one seems to be right. This... Take all that. See, this must be an elevator or something. Boneless limbs. That I think is right. There's nothing in the middle there, it seems. Well, delving pinchers. Apocrypha is the first part of that, and Apocrypha is the... Let's see, here's the book we're supposed to get, and it's not there yet. Books in the Bible that they decided weren't verifiable when they were deciding gnashing blades. Deciding which books to include and which books not to. And chapter 6. I liked that puzzle. I really did. So I still don't think we probably needed 5 or 6 of these chapters, but each one has seemed to be moderately well thought out. So I can't really make too much of a complaint. Another level book. It's surprising that I would have missed any level books, but they're so few and far between. It's understandable. Now do we fight Mirak? Let's see. There's nothing up here. And over there there's a dragon ward that I guess I'm gonna go use. Tell me this word. One dragon aspect. Use bend wound shot to tame this guy.
Your to whom has the mastery. Climb aboard and I will carry you to Mira.
Okay, cool. Let me go kill this guy first. Let's see. So we learned a lesson. Where was the other seeker? Wherever the other seeker died. This is an interesting, it's not quite the dragon cult writing. It's a scroll. So this is how you ride a dragon. Apparently very badly through animations and clipping. Do I control this? While riding a dragon, you can lock on nearby targets and attack with magic. You can also command the dragon to attack your target. Fast travel while riding the dragon by using the world map. For more detailed information, see the help in the main screen. Yes, because that's what I want to do.
Beware. Mirak is strong. He knew you would come here.
I don't think I'm controlling any of this. Why target lock?
Process. The land below us is empty of prey.
Switch targets with the left stick. Use left stick to like this feels kind of stupid. Like, what happens if I just let go of the controller? Left stick, control.
Move in freely. As you command.
Like, this is rough. This is really, really rough. I can see this was probably the main element.
At once, to open up.
Like, this is rather rough. This does not control well at all. And let's see, if we go to the map right now, where are we? Like, nowhere. Let's just work our way up to Mirak and see if we can use A to land. Yeah, I don't think I want to land there. Come on, get up there and get some height.
So, are you so easily I will land at once.
No, not yet. We should greet our guest first. And so the first Dragonborn meets the last Dragonborn at the summit of Apocrypha.
Interesting. Do you want to tell me your story?
Just as Hermaeus Mora intended. He is a fickle master, you know. But now I will be free of him. My time in Apocrypha is over. You are here in your full power, and thus subject to my full power.
Cool. So he's gonna bend my
You
will?
die, and with the power of your soul, I will return to Solstheim and be master of my own fate once again.
Okay, I see your plan. Let's see how this works for you. Oh, I have an interesting idea. How about we use Dragon Rend on him? He resisted Dragon Rend. Did he just get eaten? Let's see. Well, if Dragon Rend won't work, let's try Bend Will. He's got 3 different levels of attack here, and he's trying to use it all on me. Is this guy dead? Well, then we will take that. Oh, wait, now I'm carrying too much. Darn it. Put something away. There we go. Banded Iron Shield. And we don't need glass armor and glass gauntlets and glass shield. Come on, just a little bit more. There we go. That'll get me. Alright, so it doesn't seem like any of the shouts are gonna work. Let's try this one. Come on. I think I may kill him before I get another chance to shout. Let's try calling the dragon from the Dawn Guard DLC. Oh, almost died. Gotta keep an eye on my health. Part of the problem is I can't really just walk on the water. Can I shout yet? Oh, he is killing these dragons, taking their souls. Well, that sucks for them. I'm not gonna get rid of the Daedric bow. Let's see, Orcish Warhammer of Despair, Great Sword, Steel Axe. Alright, I'm back down. Shield bash once in a while even. This is proving pretty easy. Ooh. Oh no. Oh no, oh no. Where am I? Oh no. We're gonna have to try that one again. Let's take this opportunity to clean out our inventory because we know we're gonna get a bunch of dragon bones. So this, take this, search this, come over here, and weapons that we don't want to keep that are very heavy are gonna get put in here, and then probably books too, or even books that we may want to keep but we already have one of. Alright, get rid of that. I don't think I have an amulet of Dibella, or too many of them. Imminent alteration. Let's see. Glass armor 7. Glass shield. Hide bracers, iron shield. Leather things. Orcish helmet we can get rid of. And the rings we'll definitely want to keep. Like waning frost, we don't need that. Steel plate helmet, we don't need that. Alright, now books. Do I have any double copies? Probably a decent amount of double copies, actually. Let's get rid of all of these. Oak flesh. Let's see, that one, that one. 2 of those. The poison song in particular seems to be one we were getting a lot of. What is trap? It's a book. Any miscellaneous items I can also put away. Goblet. Parker Tusk. Linen wraps. Plate. Roll of paper. So that gets me closer. And I could put some potions away, like the weak poison, but that doesn't, it's not going to really change that much. Alright. So, quick save there. What spell am I on? Bend Will, that's the appropriate one. And let's rush through this again. It's really not the right place to start this. Oh man, seriously? You can't continue fighting. Oh man. Okay. So trying to rush through this is not gonna work. What? No. Load. Quick save. Interesting. So if you die against somebody besides him, you just leave this area. Let's see if we can sneak up on these guys. Where is he? He's like in the rock or something. There we go. This. Learn this. We'll quick save again. He's gonna land right here and wait for me to use it. Did I not have the right shout? Good. Why is that not working? Where is he? Oh, you have to use all three.
Your Thu'um has the mastery. Climb aboard and I will carry you to Mira.
So, you have to do all three. Let's ride this guy. Clippy and messed up again. Right. And, yeah, the last thing. Let's not put the camera under this. Also, I think we'll just win with archery while we're at it. Like, I don't think there's a real reason to get on that platform or mess with any of that. It's clearly just put there as an example of you could do this, or we'd like to train you to do this. It just makes very little sense the way they're trying to introduce this new ability to fly dragons around. I guess it makes sense considering how bad it is. It's just not a good system.
No, not yet. And so the first Dragonborn meets the last Dragonborn at the summit of Apocrypha. Prove it, friend.
I don't think any of my shouts would work. Let's wait till he reappears. So he's no match for my bow. Archery up to 86. And it would be at 100. I'm gonna go ahead and pick up the bones after the fact. And see, I don't know what shout he's doing that's killing these dragons so fast, but it's interesting. And he's absorbing the soul, which seems a little unfair. I'm not getting any of them. Yeah. Where's he going? He's waiting for no dragon to land. So how many dragons is he gonna kill? I don't think there's 5 around here. There's an achievement for controlling and riding 5 dragons, yes. But that doesn't mean there's going to be 5 in this section. Where is he?
Did you think to escape me, Mirak? You can hide nothing from me here.
So
No matter. I have found a new dragon born to serve me.
so I don't get the killing blow, apparently.
May she be rewarded for her service as I am.
Mira, harbored fantasies of rebellion against me. You're uneasy to handle. Serve me faithfully, and you will continue to be richly rewarded.
So don't really have a face to look at. Dragon soul absorbed. And I got all the bones and the such Mirak. Ah, definitely want to get his equipment. I suppose that would have been an easy one to miss. And it's the Black Book of Waking Dream. And this DLC definitely shows it needs more polish to it. Ooh. So, archery perks. Spend 1 dragon soul to remove your archery perks and regain 14 points. Light armor perks. So, can we come back here and, without having to go legendary, remove our perks? This would be excellent. Let's look at our skills. Here. So, as I'm understanding it, is you could have something at level 100, like two-handed here, and then remove any perks you put in it, and get those perks back. There is something that would be very, very useful for right now. Not a lot of them, but it still would be certainly useful if I took it back from heavy armor, because I've put a significant amount in heavy armor, And it turned out I didn't need to. So let's go find heavy armor as I'm overburdened. This is speech perks, alchemy perks, illusion perks. I could spend 1 soul to get each one of these spell perks back and then have about 5, but that wouldn't make much sense. Enchanting, smithing. Here we go. Heavy armor. Spend 1 dragon soul to remove your heavy armor perks and regain 4 perks. And it looks like I can just continue doing this. How many dragon souls do I have? I have taken 10. Well, let's start by unlocking everything. How did I end up with 10 dragon souls? I actually have to look here and see if there's anything else I could care about. Like, I could take it away from one-handed and the 4 perks I've used in one-handed would come back to me. But I'm not sure there would be any reason for this. I like my light armor matching set and all those abilities. I want, in ideal world, I'd want this perk and probably the other, because I was gonna try to eventually do that. So that's one I would probably spend. Lock picking, like, I need to be at 75 to make expert and master locks easier to pick. Pickpocketing, I could try to make that better. Speech, like, I need to be an investor before I can be a fence, but I still need my, I never used intimidation at all. Just not my style. Alchemy perks make my alchemy stronger, so I could go up to benefactor, but I couldn't get up to experimenter. The fact that you can't even get experimenter until you're level 50 on alchemy is ridiculous. And I have all these other perks that I could put into these spell things, or into maybe enchanting. I guess 1 perk here. This is, I'd still have to do a lot of smithing to get back up to 100. This is very strange. This is a very, very strange position to be in, because I have 10 dragon souls and no use for them. None at all. I suppose this is a great way for them to force me to well, at least not force me, that's the wrong phrase. It's a great way for them to encourage me to go back and find all the dragon shouts throughout the lands of Skyrim. And is anybody gonna come talk to me? Are you coming this way?
I can feel it. The tree stone is free again. The oneness of the land is restored. Does that mean? Is it over? Is Mirak defeated?
It's over. Mirak is dead. Storm didn't die for nothing. Mirak will never be a threat again. I killed Mirak, but Herness Marina is still out there.
Thank you. Whatever your other reasons for acting, you have done the Skull a great service. We will not forget what you have done. One more thing, Skull friend. if you will. I know it is not my place, but may I offer a word of advice, of warning?
Sure, what is it?
As shaman of the Skull, I am charged with the spiritual well-being of my people. While you are not of the Skull, you are Skull friend, and so I give you this warning. Hermamora forced you to serve him in order to defeat Mirak. Do not let him lure you further down the path. The All-Maker made you Dragonborn for a higher purpose. Do not forget that. Walk with the All-Maker, Skull friend.
Okay. So don't deal with Daedric
What's our next
gods. Let's trade some items with you.
Help us get moving quicker. Sure.
I hope he's not full, because if he is, I'm gonna have to really drop some things. Dragon bone, dragon scales. Can you take the treasure map now? Shouldn't plate. Let's see. Heartstone. We never figured out what this resonance gem was about. That's just one of the many things, I imagine. One of the many, many things in this game. Well, that will just have to be left to the imagination or somebody else that wants to play Skyrim. We are waiting for a message from that guy, and that's kind of it. So back to Raven Rock we go.
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver. Your hands only.
Okay.
Let's see here. Got this from a pretty excited looking dark elf around Raven Rock. He said it was important I got it to you as soon as I could.
There's the
Looks like
message.
that's it. Got to go.
I've spent enough time on a soul starting to last a life.
Alright. So
One moment.
we are at the end of the gameplay. There's this one burrow that may just be like an amazing house, or maybe a really good burrow. Maybe it will give us some ability or something.
What's our next move?
Maybe it's an infinite dungeon. That would be interesting.
If it'll help us get moving quicker. Sure.
Let's see. Corrodium, treasure map, dragon bones. That, and that. There we go. Right.
Lead on.
So let's see if I can put enough things in here so I'm not overburdened by the time, so I can run to the next thing. I'll just keep the Daedric bow because it's something I want to sell. Let's see. That's something I want to sell. Merrick's staff, Merrick's sword. That's something I want to sell. Keep that. So I'm putting things I want to sell and things I want to keep in the same collection. Put that there. That one. That one. That. Now I'm no longer burdened. Mirak is another mask. I don't know about these masks. Is it going to be like the Labyrinthian? Maybe. That might explain. If we found out that there's several masked characters in this game. in this DLC part. Never could get rid of the strange amulet either. Start putting all of these things away. Wow, this is taking forever. I wonder why it's taking so long, actually. Possibly this urn has too many items in it. I'll put that in there, and that in there. And then we start putting books. Can't put the black books, so either you never get rid of the black books, which kind of makes sense, or there's something more to it. Can't get rid of the Elder Scrolls, and those weigh 20 pounds. But man, this is taking forever. The Geobe's Opus, we never started that quest, even. And yet, the game won't let me get rid of it. There are certain points here where it feels like you might need to just do a quest to get more space. To not have to carry heavy items. It doesn't happen a lot in the game, but it seems to happen a little bit. I've got 60 pounds on me, and you started with 100 pounds. So if other players had a carry weight of 100 instead of my carry weight of 692, which I got it that high by increasing the stamina, which maybe it is getting diminishing returns on that too. That would be an interesting thing if I could spend a dragon soul to get all of my levels back from the beginning and reapply them however I saw fit. Right, I want to look on this and see what items, like, let's see, I want to keep, I'm going to hold on to the Resonant Stone, and, alright, now jump over here, run this way, and we'll put it in the first barrel we can find. That's actually a barrel, so I guess that's this one. And start putting in corrodium, corrodium ore, dragon bones, dragon scales, ebony, leather strips, malachite ore, quicksilver ore, refined malachite, and Strotham. It gets me down to 209. Not too bad. Alright. So we did a tiny bit of sorting there. Probably a waste of time. Now we need to go here and see what he has to say.
Oh, it's you.
What's going on?
This isn't good. We only got a little ways in when something managed to wake up the Draugr. Before I could blink, all the miners were dead, and I was next in line. Don't think anyone else made it out alive. This is what I get for skimping on labor.
What now?
Well, unless you want to deal with the Draugr, this whole little venture of ours is over. It might be over either way. It looked like a dead end before the place started crawling. We could have missed something, though. I don't know.
So, find a way deeper into the barrel. We'll take that.
Any luck?
I kind of want to rush through this, but this is the last main quest we have. And so, if it's like the other barrows in this DLC, it's going to be moderately small. So, let's have a good old-fashioned experience here of trying to rush through this using our sneaky bow technique, which is clearly how the game wants you to play. There we go. We'll take the skull. That'll open a new doorway. Unsurprising. And for probably about 2 rooms I can run around doing this. Just picking up everything in sight and filling up my inventory. And then after that I'm gonna have to clear it out again. It's some of the classics here. As we approach the end, lockpicking chests, finding items. The game has definitely scaled. When we were first playing the game, we were getting tiny amounts of gold, like 3. Now we get, even in similar places, a lot more. How much did we just get there, for instance? Was that something along... Interesting, these skeletons are not animated very well. And that's weird because we've been seeing other skeletons in the game. Alright, moving forward. And what's here? Alizar's Boots of Water Walking. Didn't we see that there was several items of Alizar's? No, the guy was looking for Alizar elements. And so we get his Boots of Water Walking. What are they? Do they have any use? If you wear any 4 relics of Alizar, plus 10 enchanting. So I need the other relics. I guess. Seems kind of strange that he wouldn't give me this quest until after I had beaten Merrick, who clearly is the main character, the main bad guy in this DLC. It's a lot different than defeating Alduin with...
Any luck?
I've dealt with the Drago and found a way past the dead end.
Well, perhaps there's some hope for us yet. Now, I have to go recruit some more miners. It won't be easy, seeing as none of their friends came back from the first attempt. We'll have to sweeten the pot a bit this time. I think I'll need, say, 2,000 septums to hire replacements.
Okay.
I never get tired of that sound. It'll take me a few days to dig up some more laborers, but swing back when you get a chance. See how we're doing.
Okay, and then here's another journal. I assume I'm not stealing things, but whatever, even if I was. So that didn't give us any quests, but I would like to try something. We never used the water walking, and this is where we were supposed to find that item. On top of that, we never did find it, did we? So somewhere in here is a book. And is it in there? I'm looking around the island trying to see if I could put on water walking and walk to like that cave, that area. We know the game is already going to stop me, but at the very least I want to experiment with the ability to water walk. And I still have that quest, right? It's a miscellaneous quest. Locate the hidden stash. Locate Sindri's Fear from the wreck of the Strident Squall. There it was, okay. Alright. So what I figured I would do is I would use the potion of water walking for this, but now that we have these books of water walking, let's see how this works. Cool. And you're just walking on water. Seems like it's just a simplistic change. And let's just see. Can we walk to Skyrim or whatever this is? I imagine not. And we can't get over there either. And that just seems like, yeah, you can't go that way. And you can't go that way. And it's clearly that there's entire things. You know, if The Witcher 3 ever found a magical pair of shoes that he could have walked on the water, that might have actually worked quite nicely. Alright, so we can fast travel here. We need to find a dragon. Let's see. I would love to see a plus 10 enchanting, but I'm not sure that really helps.
Your effort. You have? You have no idea what this means to me, to my family. Reclamations bless you. Well, you've certainly proven your worth around here to me. Please, accept this gift as a token of my appreciation.
And I'm almost certain that
Good journey, traveler.
that we could get a dozen more miscellaneous quests if we ran around. We even know that in certain places there are certain items, certain targets. Like when I spin around here, I've visited all the areas here, but I know there are other areas I haven't visited. Let's see.
Rydo and Morelli. I hope they're all right.
Let's see if he's made any progress.
We've got a crew on it. They're not sharp, but they're working hard. Come back soon. See how you do.
So, sleep for 24 hours. Now, I'm a werewolf, which means I won't be well rested. That well-rested perk was one thing at the very beginning of the game you could have really used to your advantage. The Lover's Stone, the well-rested perk combined, there's definitely a strategy to get up to like level 200, 255 a lot faster, whatever the max level is, if there is a max one.
I suggest we proceed with caution.
What's he say?
We've got a crew on it. They're not sharp, but they're working hard. Come back soon.
So, like, I just don't know what to do or where to go. Like, we could fast travel the High Point Tower. We could go check out the so like when we spin around here, there's an area we could go, there's an area we could go, there's an area we could go. Multiple things are around here. Let's wait a day. Just waiting to see if a courier shows up. We could go back to Skyrim. I'd like to find a dragon. I would like to do a lot of try to bend the will of a dragon. But honestly, if it gets down to just another hour of gameplay, I think we're done. And I don't think I really have a long, exhaustive thing to say about Skyrim either. Just because the game itself has been long and exhaustive. We'll go check out the temple. There's a lot of good content in Skyrim. Unfortunately, it is overrun with dragging out the gameplay and poor balancing of simple things like how much experience you get when you do alchemy. There we go. Root of power added. That didn't work either. Where would I want to go in Skyrim even to see if my bend will, if I can find a dragon running around Skyrim. But yeah, you get way too little experience playing, doing alchemy. Way too little experience doing smithing and enchanting. And yet the game systems really works best if you go legendary on those systems over and over again. I'm trying to find a dragon desperately. Anybody? But I don't know if that's going to happen at all. In fact, it's highly unlikely to happen because we've run around Skyrim for hours and hours and not seen a dragon. Yeah, so this is pointless. Let's just stop where we are. Look at that. Didn't even kill. Didn't draw the bow back far enough. So let's just look at the skills. Unless you want to play as a magician and spend a lot of time working on different schools of magic, you're never going to use any of these 5 skill patterns. Enchanting, I'm at level 75. I've been at legendary twice. That means technically I'm at level 275 of enchanting because it gives you levels and my main character get up to level 74. And that's with bad strategy and bad playing. I'm at level 263 on smithing. I never used heavy armor, and yet I got to level 90 just using cheats and a broken system again. I never really used block except for maybe the last 4 or 5 hours when I was using the mace, and that got me up to 77, but it only got me 7 levels because I was already at 70 through training. Two-handed, I got 90 levels of two-handed through training, 10 levels of two-handed there. I did not like the two-handed attack style in this game at all. I didn't really like the one-handed attack style in this game at all. And so for the vast majority of the 200 plus hours I played, we played archery and were effectively at level 186 of archery and could go higher. Our light armor is at 85 after all of this time, and we've been wearing light armor from the beginning of the game. Our sneak is at 97. We've been sneaking since the beginning of the game. Our lockpicking is at effectively level 157. Our pickpocketing is at 19, and it starts at 15. Let's not forget that. None of these things started at 0. So 4 levels of pickpocketing, because I just didn't do that. Speech is effectively at 172. Alchemy is effectively at 139. Every system in this game is just really, really unbalanced and broken. It needs a whole new thought. It needed to be cut into smaller pieces. It needed to have a standard single player experience where we just fought Alduin for a while, and then there was a second story where we would join the Mages Guild, and then there should be another story where we join the Thieves Guild. The open worldness of this is just ADD-ness of this. It's attention deficit disorder. That's all it is. Or maybe attention deficit hyperactive disorder, because you're running around Skyrim doing whatever you please. Look at my magicka. It's at 130. I've never put any points in the magicka. My health's at 150. I've never put any points in the health. I put every single level up into stamina. Maybe I did put 10 points in the health at one point. And I'm at a stamina of 840, and yet that still only allows me to hold 690 something. Well, I can tell you exactly. 655 items, pounds of items. We have a huge list of items that should be pointed out. Just the things on me right now is at least 200 items. 200 different items that have just the smallest of importance. Big enough that I hold on to them, but not big enough that I could name off the top 5 most important ingredients in potion making. Couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you the top 5 best potions. I couldn't tell you the best food, even the top 1 food. I have no idea. I couldn't tell you what the miscellaneous items, which are the most important there. And there's just this ridiculous things. There's quests to collect things that we started at the beginning that we never even had a chance of. When you just look at even the keys that we're holding on, it's a pretty large list. And most of them are just keyed to something, so that doesn't even help very much. They should definitely patch the game out so that if there's multiples of the same key, you don't pick it up. That's a simple, just memory-saving mechanic. The interface is a huge mess in this game. Let's look at all the magic things we never used. Several shouts, never used. A beast form for a werewolf, which is a terrible way to play the game. The vampire form was a terrible way to play it too. Lots of spells, none of which we used. And really, when it gets down to it, the only times I've ever even wanted to learn or see anybody else play this game, it has been to manipulate the broken systems in the game. I've never really thought to myself, I'd like to see somebody else's experience in Skyrim. No, it's like, how do I improve my armor really fast? How do I level up something else very fast? What's this dog? Or people? Why are people... Oh, this is not... This is just... I thought that was people walking on water. And this is Dawn Guard. And so you can't turn this off, I don't think. Let's check that out and see. I should be wrapping up here, but we are done with the series, so it's going to go a little long. It's worth pointing out, like, all of the things we've done as far as quests. There's at least 100 caves we've been to, at least 50 quests done. There are achievements for this. A lot of the achievements make sense, although I got screwed out of some of them because they weren't in the special edition. There is a very viable argument to say you should play the original Skyrim with mods that aren't available for Skyrim Special Edition, even now, months and months after the Special Edition came out. I do have to applaud they gave the Special Edition for free, and I'm going to just scroll down these numbers if you're interested in seeing them. But the Bethesda.net required login and online check to run mods is unacceptable, because just recently it went down, and I don't want to have to trade my email just to install a mod to a game. And I don't want Bethesda to have the hooks into a mod to the point where they might one day charge money to have continued access to it. The Dragonborn quests complete now are 7, and so if there are more Dragonborn quests things to do, I'm gonna miss them. The game never really ends. Dawnguard quests were 12, so clearly Dragonborn, while it was this big landmass, had less actual quests compared to Dawnguard, where Dawnguard was kind of a tiny landmass with story-focused items that were a lot better. Serena was the best side quest you could ever have, but in all actuality, the main game, Aaliyah the Hunter, is probably your best companion, because she doesn't say anything super annoying while walking around with you, and she can train you in archery, which is almost certainly what you're going to need. Miscellaneous objectives completed 109, quests in total completed 131, main quest completed 17, side quest 27. We did companion quests. I barely even remember the companion quest at this point. It's been so long. College of Winterhold quest, Thieves Guild quest, Dark Brotherhood quest, Civil War quest. I've totally forgotten about the Civil War. That was at the very beginning of the game, although it was the last set of quests I did before the DLC, and I still don't remember it because it was uninteresting. We've done 10 of the 15 Daedric quests. Those are pretty interesting on their own, and we did 16 quest lines. We've killed over 1,000 people. I guess that's something to be proud of. 500 animals, 346 creatures, 771 undead. You kill a lot of Draugrs and skeletons. Way too many Draugrs and skeletons in this game. Apparently I've not done any weapons disarmed at all. Didn't even know you could do that, apparently. Learned 62 shouts. My favorite spell is Vampiric Drain. Apparently I've unlocked 52 words of power and learned 49. Crafting, let's see, 151 soul gems, 606 souls trapped, 699 magic items made, 232 weapons improved, 424 weapons made, 427 armor improved, 1,024 armor made, 1,011 potions. Notice those numbers are really, really high. Ingredients harvested 2,232, really, really high. And then crime, didn't do a lot of crime at all. So let's save my game and let's exit to the main menu. We've seen all the things. Let's see, can you turn off add-ons? Maybe throughout Steam you can turn them off, but Here it's just telling you what add-ons you have. It's not giving me a button to disable them. And again, mods are about that, and credits. So, as I think about it, as I compare it to The Witcher 3, which I played probably 4, 5, 6 months before I started playing Skyrim. So maybe now almost a year, a little less than that, since I've started playing Witcher 3 or finished it. Witcher 3 came out many, many years after Skyrim, and we have to consider that. But the approach is dramatically different and dramatically better in The Witcher 3. The immersive, impactful story, having one main character in Geralt of Rivia, who you know who he is, you know his name, you know his voice actor, you know the things he will probably do and the things he definitely won't do, and you can have a much stronger, tighter experience. This is just a big ball of yarn, and the individual strings of yarn, when you start pulling those threads apart, don't hold up, and they're not very good quality. Skyrim was called the Game of the Year for a lot of people when it came out in 2011. But in 2017, it's barely even worth going back and playing. And if you played it once before, I wouldn't say go back. I definitely would recommend you play The Witcher 3. Save up your energy. I am going to be so burnt out of the Elder Scrolls style of gameplay that it is almost certainly guaranteed I won't play Fallout 4, which isn't a huge loss because they didn't really improve on their gameplay design at all in Fallout 4. If anything, Fallout 4 is worse than Skyrim, and it came out 6 years later. So that's an issue. That's definitely an issue. Bethesda, even though it makes this huge open world thing full of items, those assets, a sweet roll asset, a potato asset, might be just pre-bought these days. Maybe even 6 years ago when it was made, it was just pre-bought assets. They don't mean anything to have a food system. The food system in The Witcher 3 didn't mean anything either. It was a big waste of time. Let's see if we can see Patrick Stewart's name listed here on the voice actors. They certainly got a lot of expensive voice acting out of this game, I'm sure. There's the voice acting is not super repetitive, but I heard it repeated in a few characters, but overall it was fine. The main problem with the voice acting, though, is that the main character is not voice acted. So every time I, as the player, chose to say something, nothing was spoken at all. And so then, as a YouTuber particularly, I'm sitting there reading it out loud, and even if I was playing by myself, I might just be reading it, maybe even reading it out loud to role play in the game, and that's kind of hurts the immersion a little bit. But yeah, Skyrim, it's still a great game. It's just not as great, and it just hasn't held up well. And it hasn't stood up to the test of time. And that's a real problem. There are a ton of video games in my history of games I've played that are great stories. You have things like BioShock, that when BioShock got remastered, you could say, yeah, the graphics are a little bit weak and an improvement could be made there. Unfortunately, the BioShock remaster didn't really fix anything, it just made things worse, and that is often the problem. Here, I can say at least the Special Edition did seem to run possibly smoother with better graphics than the original version, but I haven't played the original version for 6 years, so how would I even know? Who could spend the 400 hours necessary to do 2 whole playthroughs through Skyrim and Skyrim Special Edition to tell the difference? And when you start talking again about fan-made mods that improve the graphics of the original Skyrim, almost certainly those mods are better than the Special Edition. Maybe they don't run as smoothly on some PCs, but that's a gamble you might very well want to take. Yeah, I would be very interested to know if you could buy the original Skyrim right now and get Special Edition for free on Steam. Because I would highly recommend doing that over buying the Special Edition by itself. Oh, or vice versa. If you buy the Special Edition, they give you the original version for free. Either way works. But I would definitely not just buy the Special Edition and not have access to the original version. Even 6 months plus into the release of the Special Edition, because they're just mods that aren't ready for the Special Edition, may never go to the Special Edition. I have to applaud people that play Skyrim non-stop on YouTube or just in their lives. It takes a special form of obsession, an obsession that I share in small part, as you may have seen, as the game encouraged my worst OCD trait of picking up everything and trying to sort everything, and it's not a mentally healthy good way to play a game. It's not a mentally healthy way to live your life, and that's possibly another argument against playing Skyrim, is that it might make you obsessive, and it certainly will help you waste a lot of time. I have spent a lot of time. My channel has hurt a little bit because I've not had time to record other videos while covering this one. I highly look forward to what the next Elder Scrolls is, but I'm also kind of looking to Conan Exiles. If that becomes the next fantasy world game, and it has a nice single player experience that you can actually play instead of just being an MMO, which I think it's just an MMO right now, that would be something that might pull me away. Or there might be another fantasy game that comes out there. I'm not a huge fan of fantasy in itself. I like it. I enjoy it every now and then, but I'm not, I don't speak Elvish. Haven't read any of the J.R. Tolkien books backwards and forwards. I know The Hobbit and The Lord of the Rings, of course, and his impact on and establishing how we understand fantasy today. And certainly I've played a lot of fantasy games, but if you had asked me before I started playing Skyrim, I would have said I probably am more into Fallout. Yet I don't want to play Fallout 3. It's too old now. I don't want to play Fallout 4. I'm burnt out on Bethesda games. I don't want to play Fallout New Vegas, even though that game wasn't made by Bethesda and is probably the best Fallout to play. And maybe I will get around to playing that. Ironically, the next Bethesda game I'm almost certainly going to play is Doom, the reboot of that, which is a completely different style of game. No guarantees when that's going to happen. I think I've had probably enough of Bethesda for a while. Another point to make about Bethesda in particular is they don't release their games in finished states. Now, Bethesda didn't program Dishonored 2, but Dishonored 2's release has been the worst mess I have seen ever in video game releases. Entire functions were missing. Patch after patch after patch has had to come out to add functions and abilities. Like the ability to set custom difficulty was just recently added, like 3 months after the game comes out. New Game Plus gets added 2 months after the game comes out. It's unrealistic. And that's just patches to add functions. There was also patches to fix bugs. There was also patches to make it run smoother too, I'm sure. And that's not unfamiliar. And then that's not uncommon for Bethesda released games. And then Bethesda has the gall to tell people, we're not going to let reviewers review games because, well, the reason why they said is because they want everybody to experience the games the same way, which is just a whole bucket of BS. The truth is, they know they release their games in broken states, and their games don't hold up, and they want to get people on the hype train and get so obsessed. And if they announced Elder Scrolls 6 tomorrow, that's exactly what would happen. People would get on the hype train. They'd be super, super obsessed with it, and it would probably come out broken, and people that bought it and pre-ordered it would suffer. And then maybe 2 years into it, it'll be patched and have the mods it should have had. There's so many features, so many tweaks that should have been done, that any team that really cared about their product would have done, instead of just making the game bigger. A big open empty world. It's not totally empty, but vast sections were. And the mountains. Let's not even talk about the mountains, how awful they were. Is this... Are the credits ever going to end? Most of the credits I'm seeing here are just for voice actors, too. I have yet to see a programmer. Maybe I wasn't paying attention. I'm seeing different language voice actors over and over again. And can I scroll down? Let's speed this up. Like actor after actor after actor to voice act. And the Voice Actors Guild is striking right now. I still think that strike's going on with the video game industry. Bethesda might be part of that. And look at all the people that they hired. Right? So either I totally skipped over all the programmers and didn't see it, or that was just one long list of actors. I must have blanked. I must have been talking and not paid attention. But that certainly says something too. Elder Scrolls Skyrim. It's probably worth playing if you've got it and got nothing better to do. But I think if you objectively look at a list of your video games that you can play, and you can't find at least one or two better games to play, you should double check, because this game will suck your soul away, it will suck your life away, and you'll fall into a deep pit of doing incredibly repetitive and boring things. This is the only series I've ever done where I probably have at least 5 hours of gameplay of just managing inventory that I cut out of the game. That's not even talking about the probably 10 hours of gameplay I left in of doing alchemy and enchanting and smithing. Anyways, I did like the game, but I have to be super critical of a game this big. This huge game comes with a bunch of flaws, a lot of flaws, and I would have much preferred a small game with just a few flaws. So I'm almost at a neutral on this game. It's like, yeah, play it, but don't really play it. Yeah, play it, but don't really play it. Don't waste your time on it. It's a good game, but don't waste your time on it. That's really what I have to leave Skyrim on. It's a good game, but don't waste your time on it. that's it for this series. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe. Click the bell next to the subscribe button to get notifications, and watch every second of my videos, because all of that helps me with YouTube, tells them that my videos are worth watching. If you want to support me even further, you can go to my main YouTube page, click on that playlist tab, and check out a playlist for every game I've ever covered, and start watching something else. I'm sure you can find something else that will interest you. Go check out The Witcher 3 if you haven't seen it. See the comparison there. Finally, down below in the description box, I have links to all my social media sites like Google+, Steam, Battle.net, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr. Please follow and friend me on all of those services. That's your backup, so you know when my videos are available for viewing, and it helps me with those services to have more friends and followers too. Thank you for going through this journey. If you went through this journey, you definitely deserve an award for tenacity, because this was a long trip. At some point in the future, maybe I would come back to Skyrim, but don't hold your breath. Almost certainly not for a year. Even if I was going to play mods, which almost certainly I would do, I would get rid of the overburdened thing either through a console command if I could figure out if I can do it that way, or through a mod. I would get a Sky UI init mod. I would get the unofficial patch for Skyrim to fix any bugs. I would probably put some shaders and make it nice. But nothing's really going to fix the main issues of this game. I could probably put 100 mods on it and not even be very close to the things I would want fixed. There are some mods that add content and give you different levels. I kind of wish those mod creators that are actually making content and story levels would instead make their own games and just make them in Unity or Unreal and put them on a Steam. It couldn't be any worse than half the games that show up on Steam Greenlight. So that's something I wish they would do instead of trying to sell mods, because that's just a no-go, and society collectively shouted they weren't willing to pay for mods. But I was wrapping up. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening. Let's go to a new game. Woohoo.